Chapter 2 from Fiona Foxtail's Executive Wine Lounge. So today in Chapter 2 we're going to do the still white wines, starting with the Comentini Pinot Grigio. You know, Pinot Grigio by the glass, you could buy it for $3, you could buy it for $2, but you're getting mass-produced negociant wine that doesn't really have a lot of excitement. The best Pinot Grigio in the world is from Italy, and the best Pinot Grigio in Italy is from Alto Adige, the best district of Pinot Grigio. This is a single vineyard from Trentino. That's a very notable thing because you get definition, you have great acidity, you have intensity, but you have all the correctness of Pinot Grigio. I have some current flavor notes, so I'm only going to read them because it's specific to the bottle. But this bottling has notes of apple and citrus, tangerine, jasmine, apricot, and poached apple. You know, you can overdo it or underdo it on these descriptions, but the most important thing is you have a single site Pinot Grigio from the greatest area in the world for Pinot Grigio. Always upsell your customers. This is a great value on the list. So the wine, the Comentini, has great complexity and intensity. You can have the Cadence shrimp polenta. You can have the Moroccan tagine. These foods, these unique flavors, the wine can marry and go toe-to-toe with these menu items. It's not just a quaffing Pinot Grigio. You have something sophisticated, a great value, and true to its form from Italy against these beautiful dishes. The next wine, the still white, is going to be the Domaine Joly Petit Chablis. Chablis is a town, a district in France, in Burgundy. It's the east central Burgundy, so that's where Chablis is. It's always Chardonnay by law, always. Most of the districts of Chablis use stainless steel fermentation. There's very little oak. Some parts of Chablis they do use oak, but not so much in the Macon region. Well, this isn't from Macon, this is from Chablis, but this is all 100% stainless steel. What's great about Chablis is that it has more that green apple style. Sometimes when you bite in a green apple, you get those high acidity where your mouth kind of waters. That's really important because when your mouth waters, that's natural acidity, and that's going to work with the food. The green apple style comes from no oak, so it has more purity to it. There's great minerality to this. Minerality and those acidity I've been talking about, again, that's something else that's going to work very well on your menu. You could drink this by itself on a hot day or a cold day or outside on the little street there on Main Street. It'd be awesome. In a nice, big, delicious, beautiful glass, the wine is going to crawl out of that glass in aromatics. And it's going to be the best Chardonnay from France for that price you ever had. Some of the descriptors, if people want to ask what would it taste like, you have white fruits, lemons, grapefruit. Again, I mentioned green apple. This will work with any of the menu rolls on your list. That'll work with any of the greens, the salads that under the section of under the greens. The lean cod. Don't be afraid to suggest a lean cod with this because it'll stand up to it perfectly. Those high acidity, the great minerality is going to work beautifully with the lean cod. The next one is the Domaine Bretagne Chardonnay. Now, it's Burgundy, so it's French. Bretagne is the estate, it's the domain. It's in Burgundy, France. It's in the Haute-Côte-de-Nuit, which is kind of like the slope or the region of France. They don't call their wine Chardonnay. They call it by the district, Côte-de-Nuit, Domaine Bretagne, which is in the Côte-de-Nuit. This is stainless steel, but they also use French oak. This is the wine, there's more, because there's so much intense acidity to these wines when their wines are born, they have to kind of temper it down with oak. And based on the profile of the wine, they can use oak to kind of settle it down and integrate the fruit a little bit better because there is so much definition. So unlike the Chardonnay from Chablis, that green apple style, this one has a little more richness, a little more weight, there's more length in the body, so you have more of the purity of Chardonnay, but it doesn't compromise the natural acidity. And again, it'll stand to every one of those dishes, the roll sections, the salads, the lean cod, it'll all work beautifully. So there is French oak in this. It's great value, it's not that expensive, and you get the best definition of pure Chardonnay from France that's not manipulated in any way. The last wine on the list is the Robert Lloyd Chardonnay. It's from Napa, Carneros particularly. Robert Lloyd used to be one of the winemakers at Rombauer, and he's very well known. He's got a PhD in making Chardonnay. So the fruit's from Carneros, and he absolutely gets the best contracts from the very best sources in Carneros, using true shard fruit, some notable others. He uses 100% malolactic fermentation, which is converting malic acid into lactic acid. So, malic acid has that intensity, and it's a little bit coarse, but it's forceful. And it converts it into lactic acid, so it has a soften up and it has more approachable. He also has, the yeast, dead yeast cells are called the lees. And then when they ferment the wine, the lees are on the bottom of the tank. So these dead yeast cells, they basically integrate the flavors of the wine. So before he bottles this, he keeps stirring the wine, and before he bottles it, those lees are still there all the way before he puts it in bottle. The reason for that is he wants to make the wine as unctuous and beautiful, and like a polished piece of not butterscotch, but he wants the purity of Carneros fruit, but he wants the oak in there. He wants the oak and the fruit to integrate. So it's almost a meal in itself. Some of the specific tasting notes on the Lloyd, I'm just going to read it for you. Tropical fruits, pear, apple, rich notes of vanilla. This is aged in American oak, new American oak, so it's going to have that vanilla component, and it's going to extract all the richness out of the fruit and maximize it. I mentioned the lees, so he wants the most flavor out of the wine as possible. So this wine is, you could just drink it by itself, but with food. Any fish dish, a grilled octopus, the ricotta and honey, the whipped ricotta and honey. That's like great. That'd be beautiful. This wine will stand up to that. You want natural acidity in the wine, which the wine does, but that particular Chardonnay will work very well with that ricotta and honey. So that was something I would have. That would be beautiful. So, and those are my 4 wines for the still whites.